First of all, my name is Riikka-Maria Lemminki, and I'm Managing Director of Marketing Finland. We are a non-profit association of around 400 brand owners, plus all the leading marketing and communication agencies in Finland. I'm also an executive committee member in WFI that presents over 90% of global marketing investments. So I have the point of view for advertisers. So first of all, why we use so much social media? It's because they have the public, and it has been also, they have made it very easy to buy advertising, and it feels that it's quite low price advertising too. So it's quite interesting for advertisers. But there's also many pitfalls that we have noticed, and there's lots of problems. It's just not problems that only platforms has. It's everywhere in digital marketing. No brands wants to be founding terrorism organizations. No brands want to be found next to harmful content. And as we know, there's big issues with the content, especially on platforms. And that's where platforms, they haven't really managed to take the control over the content. And we as advertisers, we have to be on those platforms. When you compare it like to the real life, when you go to the marketplace, and it's a marketplace full of skinheads and terroristic organizations, I want to place there my advertising. And like Mercedes-Benz, they did find their advertising next to this ISIS video, and it meant that they were also founding their actions. So it happens all the time. And here on the right hand, we have also an actual case from Finland. Aktia Bank on last fall, they did find their own brand that was used in advertising it was an advertising that for Bitcoins. It was a big hack. And the problem here is that it's not just the advertising, it's that Facebook didn't react, including myself. Many people did make a reclamation to Facebook about this advertising, but Facebook didn't react as fast as they should react for this kind of hacks. And many Finnish people, they lost their money for this hack. So it's there's lots of problems with the content, and this is why advertisers, we are more and more asking about, where is my advertising zone? There's a brand safety issues. You want to know where your advertising is placed on. What do people see on platforms? Is my advertising next to harmful content? Can I trust the content you are sharing? There's so many fake news, and no one wants to be next to fake news. You don't want to be related to fake news. Trust, it's a big issue in advertising and all the brands, and that's why we want to be next to this very high quality content. But there's also many other issues than just the content. How do you use the data that you are collecting? How do you use my data? Who owns the data? And in these cases, the owner is, they are platforms. There are big data privacy issues on platforms. There are questions who owns the data, and more these platforms, they have taken the control of advertisers' data, and they use it to advertise also my competitors' products. And then we pay taxes, but does platforms pay taxes? And this is a question that I hear more and more often from brand owners. They contact us to ask, where does these platforms pay taxes? Where does my money go? As in previous speeches also, we heard that there's lack of transparency in advertising, especially on platforms. We don't know how much of our advertising money ends up to the media. In some cases, it's just like 12% or 30%. There's so many companies in the middle, and there's also lots of ad fraud that we can't be sure where does our money end. The biggest question is, do we share the same values? And this is bigger and bigger question, and many marketers feel that they don't share same values as these big tech giants. The problem is also that as a brand owner, we want to be trustworthy, and the trust is a big issue for us. We can't just say that we don't give a thing. We don't care about the environment where our advertising is placed on. It's very important for us, and more people, they trust more brand owners than the government to change the world better. Some brave brands as Unilever and Lego, they have banned their advertising on social media. They have stopped advertising on social media. But is it enough? I would say no, and this is why WFI has started a program called Global Alliance for Responsible Media. They invited all leading brands here, and they started the conversation with Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And since the beginning, there have been progress, and these platforms, they have developed their own solutions. And as my grandma said, there's no problems, there are only solutions. And today we are living in a digital world, and those problems that we call problems, they can be solved. The big issue also for advertisers, it is that is our media landscape, is it healthy? And the healthy landscape is very important for all of us. Take a minute to think about what would be your word if your only source of information would be Facebook, TikTok, Google, Twitter, Instagram. And this is the case in Brazil, where 62% of municipalities do not have a local news organizations. And it has already had huge impact on how people get information about local politics, health issues, etc. So if we don't have a healthy landscape, it means that the whole society, it's collapsing, and more brand owners, they are also making attention for this type of things, and they are focusing their advertising money also for local media. And I would like to say in the end of my presentation also for media companies that concentrate how you can create a new kind of environment that attracts people, that people can trust, that they get a high quality information, and think about new way of founding your business, and not just raising the price for advertising. That is not interesting for advertisers. You have to find some other kind of attracting ways to get advertisers, and after advertisers will come after you have more people using your platforms. This was my short message from advertisers, and I'm looking for the process and how you are going on with the topic.